Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
Unpopular K-pop opinions because I'm officially kicking YG out. What do
why.
YG do? Let's see. I guess because not enough music. I don't know.
1.
I
YG are
mean,
in big trouble,
I
according
can
to their financial reports. Last year, YG projected $250 million in revenue but an operating loss of $16 million, and for the first time, they ended up with a net loss of $340,000. That's not just bad,
It's nothing. Businesses lose money all the time. They
That's not that
experimented.
bad.
This is nothing. This is
Uh, but
not a big deal
I
whatsoever.
was thinking, what was I thinking?
Oh, are you getting old like me, huh?
No, because I want to make sure I say the correct thing. What group is Treasure?
YG.
Yes, so I was correct. Yeah, I knew something was up when I
It
see
did.
pullback from
I
Treasure's
agree.
operations.
We did see. We did, and you can see in our videos too, when
Mm-hmm.
reacting to Treasure in November-ish or so, October. Something fell off. It just fell off.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this has to do with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but 200K loss in a 200 million operating
I think that
revenue.
was
It's
probably
nothing.
I think that was from experimenting with that big King Kong, because they said that I don't think that generated the money that it
I didn't
needed to
like
get
it,
back.
but I
I
don't know.
liked it.
I
I didn't
didn't.
mind it, but I don't think they got back the money they spent. Because remember we watched the videos to see how much they spent on those productions. It's
Mm-hmm.
quite a lot.
Yeah. To be fair though, King Kong compared to the recent song, I'll take King Kong. So like
Yeah,
as much as I don't like King Kong, it's still better than the
but
recent
look
song.
at the level of production that was reduced
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
significantly
mm-hmm, they
for in
did.
terms of visuals and everything,
But
presentation.
let's go back to their revenues a little bit.
I wish
projected
you put the number up.
$250 million in revenue but an
$250 million in revenue, 300K in loss. That is nothing. That's nothing.
operating loss of $16 million, and for the first time, they ended up with a
Wait,
net loss of $340,000. That's not
what's the difference? Operating loss versus net loss?
Net loss is at the end of the day. Operating loss is like what they lost from just operating, just functioning as a company. But net is after revenue, expenses, everything has been accounted for. So net is the final number.
Yeah, so yeah, 300K loss on such
Mm-hmm.
a revenue is nothing. That's
Not just bad, it's embarrassing. How does a Big Four agency even pull that off? Oh, right. By clinging to Blackpink like a lifeline for 7 years and then
why is that? Businesses lose money all the time. Why is this such a big deal? What is that like
Mm,
uncommon in K-pop for business to lose money? Is that
I
what it
think
is?
you know what we're gonna see is a lot of criticism for all the big companies because aren't they all doing like a audit?
Well,
Like Hype is being audited.
it's not audit. It's a core yearly returns are due right now because all
Oh,
the uh, in I think by January the 31st everybody had to submit there, so everything's now becoming
mm-hmm.
public, and they're all public companies.
Oh, so yeah, everyone's
So
gonna be looking
everybody,
at the
yeah,
T.
everybody's books are open now.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this is not at all surprising to me. YG had a quiet year. They didn't have nobody moving.
You think YG had a quiet year with Baby Monster?
Yes, that's one
No,
group they had.
they really
Treasure
hype,
didn't do
but they
nothing.
put a lot into Baby
Yeah,
Monster.
that's
A
what. But that's
lot.
what I'm saying. They didn't have diversity. They had one group. All the labels have multiple streams of income, multiple groups. YG
Mm.
had like one Treasure drop, two songs, whatever. Well, early in the year they did have Japanese release with the Let It Burn. I like that a lot. That's their favorite song. But
Mm.
interesting. I think she's overblowing it. I don't think it's that big of a deal at all.
acting shocked when the girls leaving left them financially naked. I mean, is anyone shocked? YG's entire lineup last year was Treasure and Baby Monster. And while Baby Monster did solid numbers with their albums, debuts are expensive, and Baby Monster ain't recouping those costs yet. Meanwhile, Hybe's over here laughing with 10 plus active groups. Even while BTS is in the military, that's how you diversify your portfolio. YG had years to build a roster but got lazy, relying on Blackpink to bankroll everything. Now that they lost the members individually, the cracks are showing. Those four women were YG's revenue. Without them, the company's balance sheet looks like a bad meme. Yes, Black.
So now this kind of put things into perspective with 21 a little bit. We said, oh, 21 came back as they needed money. I think 21 came back as
They
YG
both
needed
need
money.
money.
Well, of course, 21 girls need money, of
Because they
course.
could
But
say, absolutely not. I'm
I
living my best life on
I
vacation.
think what they did, they really negotiated a girl-friendly contract because they see,
Mm-hmm.
okay, YG needs this. So like, okay, if you want us to do
But
it,
how would they know they need it if the
because they
books were
called them
not
up. They
completed
called them
by the
up.
end? Oh,
They're like, oh, come on, do this, do. Because I think they were living good. I don't think they needed
yeah.
to. But I think YG needed
But
so.
also, isn't one of the girls, she needs like a medical, like for her medicine?
Yeah, but I feel like isn't it free healthcare in Korea?
I don't know.
I don't think that's a thing. No, I don't think that's an issue.
Because if I have those issues, I don't know if I would be out here doing the most.
That is true. I don't know. I do
I
think
would
it
be
was
in a
YG
spa
that needed it.
center, getting back
Yeah,
to as close to 100 as I
I
could.
think YG needed it though.
Pink is having a comeback and a tour later this year. But what happens after that? Who knows if they'll renew their contracts again? YG's financial reports shed light on many of their recent decisions, such as ending their acting management division, sending Baby Monster on tour early,
That explains why they ended the acting manager. Well, maybe that's where they
Well,
lost a lot of money in
yeah,
acting.
because they experimented a lot too.
Yeah. And that's why it's not a big deal to lose money because businesses
Mm.
experiment all the time.
But wait a minute. Aren't we mad when companies do too much? Like they have too many eggs in different baskets rather than focus on people? Like I feel like they try to focus on Treasure. They're focusing on Baby Monster, those two at a time. A one boy group, one girl group.
Well,
So how much more you want them to do?
my philosophy is having one group per generation, per
Mhm.
gender. So
Mhm.
one boy group, one girl group per generation. So every 6 years, whatever, how long.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think generation is about 6 years.
And it
In
takes
the recent year, yeah.
a lot of people to manage these people, so they have like a lot of
No, they do,
expenses
yeah.
they have to bankroll up front first before they can collect at the back
Right.
end.
So if you have like one group per gender per generation, so let's say 3 generations are
Mhm.
active at a time, because I don't really expect second generation to be active right now. If they are, good for them, but in general, third, fourth, fifth. So that's 6 groups they should be running. Instead, they're running one group, 1.5 groups, because Treasure was like last year, it was like a half effort. So they're trying to run on 1.5 group, but you really need 5, 6. So let's say 5, because generation 5 just started, so they still have time to develop boy group for this generation. Cool, but still, because they don't even have a fourth generation girl group for NYG, because Blackpink was third, so they're missing that girl group. Yeah, no, they're not. They don't have enough groups.
and even organizing a 2NE1 tour after a decade of inactivity. While Baby Monster shows a lot of promise, it might not be enough. Why? Timing. They need multiple self-sustaining acts, not just Treasure and Baby Monster. YG had one job: debut Baby Monster and other groups and
Also,
solidify
the
Treasure before
difference from like YG and other labels is that the other labels, like for example Hybe, they were able to get like other sub labels to be a part of their big label, so they're able to focus and collect in all more groups this way. YG doesn't have like a baby under label,
They do have one, the Black label.
the black label,
Yeah.
but that's really the very independent. I don't know how much they get from that contract
I don't know,
that they
but yeah,
have
they
from the
have the Black
black
label.
label.
Black label has what, Jion Somi, Meow. I think Rose signed solo under Black label in Korean activities at least. So that's 3 artists I can name under the Black label. So I mean, they do have someone there, but to be fair, also last year, Jion Somi I think dropped one track.
Yeah, they're not doing too much. Meow got
Meow
two
debuted, cool, but again,
investment, and the people in their group, they're not like girls from middle of nowhere. These are girls, they like live an affluent life,
yeah,
so
and Mao is catching flack for no reason, honestly, too. So a lot of hate they're getting. So yeah, why she's not doing too good? Yeah,
Blackpink dipped. Instead, they dragged their feet.
but again, I do think she is overblowing it. The fact that they lost 300K total loss. To me that is nothing in $200 million revenue.
Let contracts expire, and now they're stuck with a half-baked roster and a rookie group that's still in diapers. Meanwhile, the other big three are pumping out new acts like a factory. YG's leadership must have been asleep at the wheel, or just arrogantly assumed Blackpink would never leave. Now they're in restructuring purgatory, which is corpo speak for we're desperate and have no plan. Their roster's pathetic, 2 groups versus competitors' armies, and they're bleeding cash trying to play catch-up, even if Baby Monster blows up tomorrow. It'll take years to fill the Blackpink-sized hole in their revenue. 2. Stop letting samples carry your whole song. Samples can be fire. They can resurrect a vibe or flip nostalgia into something fresh. But when you're letting the sample do all the work while your original song just sits there, that's not artistry. That's licensed plagiarism. IVE's comeback attitude is the poster.
I like a transformative sample. Like
Yeah.
I don't even want to like be able to catch it immediately. They remind me of something, but I don't want to be able to catch it so quickly.
Yeah, and to be fair, this is not just a K-pop thing. Plenty of times here in the West and the States, we hear the song, they're just like, come on.
Verbatim.
Yeah, like why? We didn't need that. The original was good enough. Like for example, NLE Chopper sampling Nelly's "Hot in Here." I didn't need that sample. I'm good with "Hot in Here." That's a classic. I don't need somebody sampling that.
But I wonder how much of the newer generation never heard of it. So
I don't know, but also I think BB Rexa sampled one of David Guetta song. It's nice to be. No, that's not the song. But whatever. Yeah, there's so many. Especially now as we get older, a lot of songs that we grew up on are being sampled, and it's like, why?
I get it because our group also sampled other people too,
Right,
like
but
classics.
I feel like the sample should be taking it and twisting it. Some people do that. Because, when you do rap samples reactions, for example, there's samples where like, oh, I would have never thought. So those are good samples. You can sample it like that. That's perfect. I have no problem with that. But the samples were like, oh, yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, why?
Your child for this lazy trend. The problem isn't that they used a sample. It's that the sample is out here doing backflips while the actual song is napping in the background. It's like Starship slapped a viral TikTok sound on a half-baked demo and called it a day. Some may say, but samples are a tool. Cool, so's a hammer. But you don't build a house by waving it around and hoping the nails magically jump into the wood. This isn't about hating samples. Look at New Jeans Ditto. That iconic The SOS Band sample isn't just a crutch, it's a mood amplifier, layered with their own Gen Z melancholy. Or SPOS Next Level that took a movie soundtrack snippet and turned it into a cyborg anthem Singularity. Those songs evolve, they add something. Meanwhile, Ive's attitude reminds me a lot of Ava Max, where songs start to sound like karaoke remixes where the sample is the main vocalist and the group's just harmonizing in the background.
That's not even
Companies
the
are
original
addicted
sample.
to samples because
It's
they're
not
low
even
risk, high
Max.
reward nostalgia.
Well, she's just I guess 2 days in a row now she's comparing Ive to Ava Max. Just
Yeah.
I don't think they sampled Ava Max, but just like I guess the vibe.
Bait. They're banking on your brain going, OMG, I know this part, instead of asking, does this song actually go anywhere? It's the musical equivalent of putting googly eyes on a potato and calling it art. It's cute for 5 seconds, but then you're just staring at a potato. 3. Boycott Madian's
I
upcoming
know what you
comeback.
mean.
Those snakes had the audacity to physically harass a member, kick her out for daring to speak up, and then drop a comeback teaser called Madian Forever. Are you kidding me? Forever what? Forever corrupt? Forever abusive? They're out here spitting on Gayeon's courage, spitting on us fans, and spitting on basic human
That's
decency.
wild.
Let's be very clear. Streaming their comeback, buying their albums, or even giving them a single click is funding abuse. It's telling this rotten company that they can literally destroy a person's life and still profit off fans' loyalty. No, not today, Satan. If you support this comeback, you're saying it's okay to silence victims. You're saying CEOs can prey on idols and fans will still open their wallets. Is that who you are? Because I refuse to believe anyone with a shred of conscience would let this slide. Boycott the heck out of this flop comeback. Make it flop
I
so
agree.
hard their CEO feels it in his empty soul. Unfollow, block,
Ooh,
cancel
ooh,
pre-orders and
ooh.
scream their name into the trash where it belongs. Spread the word like wildfire. Every tweet, every post, every comment exposing their filth is a direct hit to their wallet. And I want to say to the company, you. 4. Virtual
Ooh.
idols are creative
She felt
bankruptcy
that one.
masquerading as innovation. But even if I squint and pretend to give a what
Virtual idols are creative bankruptcy masquerading as innovation. Interesting statements. I vibe with it. I agree. I think they're just running out of ideas, so they
I don't know. Having AI. Honestly, guys, people they do it on YouTube. They have like a script written to them. People still eat it up.
no, but it's just the script. It's still a human. Well, I guess in
No,
this
it's
case,
not. You're gonna rely on that script and you're gonna go bar for bar on that script. There's no difference. There's no originality anymore. It's unfortunate for those who truly take the time to create.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I agree. But on YouTube, you don't get paid for the script though. Here, the companies are trying to
How
get
you
paid.
don't get paid for the script?
The people don't pay to watch your videos for the script.
You get the ads. You still get paid.
If it's AI voice, they don't monetize your channel.
This channel is not monetized. Is she not AI? Is she not using those softwares?
I don't know if she's monetized. I don't know if she's monetized.
So you think she do this for fun?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. But I know that a lot of people complain that faceless channels get demonetized all the time. So, like, essentially, at least if you're going to do a faceless channel, put your own voice on. That's how you can stay monetized. When you use faceless channel, take somebody else's videos and somebody else's text and somebody else's voice, there's nothing unique about it. At least put something unique on it.
And I think she's putting in like any kind of clip
I
too.
I
And I'm looking
think
at it like,
I think she is monetized because I feel like for her to get monetized, just remove these damn videos and put something else on the screen and you'll get monetized because her thoughts are her thoughts. It's like it's unique thoughts, so it should be monetized. But the fact that she's using groups videos, I don't know how that affect monetization, you know.
mm,
about neutrality. They're just photocopies of human.
But anyway, my point is those channels that just do all AI, they're not really monetized, so they don't make money. So whatever. Now these groups, they charge solid money to go to a concert like the Espas concert we saw, and they just show AI on the screen. Really? Come on now.
Idols with CGI masks slapped on. Where's the actual chaos? Give me alien members, galaxy robots, monsters, something avant-garde. Heck, give me a member called Lucy because she's the female version of Lucifer. Same with the music. Experimentation should go to the max. But Korea's obsession with squeaky clean perfection and algorithm-approved safe concepts is choking the life out of what should be a revolution. Over in Japan, virtual acts dive headfirst into anime psychodrama and sonic pandemonium. Meanwhile, K companies are terrified of alienating the existing fanbase, so they stick to the same tired playbook: soft rock, generic EDM, and visuals stripped straight from Nickelodeon. Imagine the audacity to have infinite creative freedom and still give us this. Infinite possibilities, yet zero imagination. Why? Always money. Virtual groups are cash vacuums, CGI isn't cheap, and companies are sweating over return on investment. Why gamble on experimental crazy over the top when you can mimic what's already charting? Plus, stands are feral. Introduce a virtual idol that's too weird and the backlash could tank the project. So they neuter the concept, slap a pretty face on it, and call it innovation. It's cowardice disguised as strategy. Virtual groups could be K-pop's punk
but
phase.
you know,
a champ-
it could be also just to play the other side.
Me now?
Yes,
Okay.
but a cute version.
Oh sure. Should I call me ugly?
Anywho, so it could be
Wow.
they're experimenting with AI. I mean, first people they hate it until they see what it can do, and then we're like, oh my god, why didn't I do this first? You know, until it's too late.
Yeah, you're right. But we still shouldn't support it. I feel like
I feel like
I don't see a point in it. I don't.
this is the same thing that happens when people try to keep things in its purest form and try to gatekeep who can, you know, manipulate or present art. Art should always continue to be, you know, the artist's point of view and not what you think the point of view should be. So let them create and, you know, let them do.
But it's not them creative. It's AI creative. It's computer
Yeah.
creative. So
But
who's
will
the
they
artist?
be, so will they be, well, they still have to input something in it to manipulate it. Like, for example,
Sure, I guess.
there was a time where you can only make beats and music with instruments. Now we have these beat makers. That at first was taken with some sort of, you know, wait a minute, what are we doing? This is not music. And people will debate you and say this is not music at all, where they
Probably,
try to
yeah.
protect what they know as music to be pure and try to keep any other outside influences from tempering that. I think this can be the same thing. I don't think this is going to take over and say this is what the music industry is going to be. I think there will be a small sector that does this and a small sector of people that will support this, but then there's other groups there's other places for people to go to,
Right.
essentially. So I feel like this is not the end all be all, and this is not the chamber and the only chamber to exist.
I think you're right. I don't think it's gonna be like a thing for a long time, but you know, I still don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like when they say, okay, Whitney Houston, ABBA have this like robot figure and they try to continue to sell tickets to make money.
It's fair
It's
for
a
you
bit,
to not
it's a
like
bit
it.
odd.
I'm apathetic about that. I can
Let the person rest.
for that I
Wow.
can see more point than for this, but you know, whatever.
chance to ditch the rigid idol mold and go full cyberpunk. Imagine lore-driven albums with interactive AR storylines, genre-bending collabs, or avatars that evolve visually with each comeback. Instead, we get
You
played,
know.
a proof of concept stuff.
The most awkward thing is music labels, music companies make the most when their artist is dead.
They do make money when they dead, yeah, with all the post-mortem drops.
Mm-hmm.
Stuck in beta mode. And while we're at it, let's review Plav's comeback with Dash. The
let's
track
skip
split
that.
versus a hit to a album will have 4 tracks. Both ideas could work, but mashed together, it's a mess. 5. Jisoo's mini album will have 4 tracks, 2 in English and 2 in Korean. Unlike the other members
Yep.
whose albums are
Boy.
solely in English.
Oh,
This is a really
what?
smart move for Jisoo. targeting both her domestic and international fanbase with the
I
same EP.
don't know.
She
A
also has
mini
writing credits on all
album.
4 tracks, and her company's name Blissu is listed among the
It's
A
just
mini
I feel like
album.
she didn't really want to drop it. She was kind of coerced to
Yeah,
drop
she was
by the
like,
fans.
here
Yeah.
you go.
It just seems like the fans coerced because everybody's like, "Oh, where's your
Or
music? Where's your music?" So she kind of now forced to
ah,
drop. So she's like, "Okay, I'll give you a mini album."
this
I
is a
think that's
little
what.
sad because I thought we were like on trend to that the girls were dropping, a lot of music in one track to say, look, this is more that we could have done when we were with YG, who only allowed like for 8 songs to come out. This is 4.
Well, it's a mini album. It's not a full album.
production credits,
I think
meaning the
if you're
tracks
gonna
are
pop off and you're gonna come out with a full album, don't do a little mini album. Cause then when you drop the album, what's the hype gonna be? You already dropped the mini.
Well, as I said, I just feel like
She didn't want to
she
do
didn't want to
this.
do this,
Y'all bullied her.
and she was bullied into it. So she's like, "Okay, fine. I can come up with 4 tracks."
are also co-produced by her in-house production team. All the tracks are written and produced by the same team, which is really interesting. It's not something you see every day. And for y'all dragging her because her EP is only 4 tracks? Seriously? I don't give a crap
you.
if her members are all dropping full albums. So what? The girl opened a company, shot multiple acting projects and series take months to film. You're lucky she's dropping anything at all. It's sick.
Yeah, she didn't
Sick.
have to do
Twice
this
Julie
though.
is
She
not
could have taken her time. Cause then again, you guys didn't have to bully her to drop anything either. Let her take her time to drop a full album. I feel like y'all really pressured her.
Or not drop anything if you're gonna be an
Yeah.
actress.
16 anymore. The industry's obsession with treating Magnes like eternal toddlers is dehumanizing. We're out here watching fully grown adults like Jui get shoved back into a onesie by fans and coworkers the second she dares to act her age. She's 26, not 5. But no, the moment she breathes maturity, everyone loses their
Low
minds like she's
key, they
defying the
always
laws
when you're the Magni is like I think they always gonna look at you like a baby.
of nature.
You can be 80, and they say you still the baby.
It's a systemic issue propped up by Korea's rigid age hierarchy, lazy industry tropes, and fans who'd rather cling to nostalgia than acknowledge reality.
Honestly,
Take Sohee.
you can take the good, but there's also bad to it too.
What's
Because
that?
when the bad is like, oh, she can't dress like a grown woman, but then on the other side, everyone like babies and take cares of her and to,
Oh.
that's the
And
I
from
think
SNS.
as the oldest daughter, I see the privilege being the youngest. Would I take it? I wouldn't try it for a day. I would like to be spoiled like that.
D. Girl dropped a sexy solo debut
Nadia?
at 25 and fans acted like she committed a crime. How dare the Magne have hips and a backbone? She called this nonsense out years ago, but here we are
I like having responsibility on my shoulders.
recycling the same garbage
Oh,
with
you by
Jui.
yourself.
These women aren't
Not
dolls
like
frozen in their debut era.
relaxation on my
Jui's got a
shoulders.
master's
No.
degree for crying out
Massage on my
loud,
shoulders,
but who
okay?
cares about her intellect? No one. The cognitive dissonance is wild. We demand idols to be flawless performers, but the second they step outside their assigned role, fans revolt. It's almost like y'all don't want them to be human. And spare me that it's cultural respect excuse. Yes, Confucian age norms are ingrained in Korea, but let's not act like that absolves anyone of critical thinking. The same system that demands juniors bow to seniors also traps Magnes in a never-ending preschool. Boy groups aren't immune either. Nikki from Enhypen could literally file taxes and fans would still drill over his baby cheeks. It's infantilization
Aw.
masquerading as affection. These idols aren't emotional support stuffed animals. The bigger issue? This isn't just a K-pop problem, it's a societal script. Look at IU, forever the nation's little sister at 30. Akmu's Sooyoon debuted at 15 and still can't shake the kid sister image a decade later. The industry profits off these personas and fans eat it up, creating a feedback loop where maturity becomes a liability. Want a sexy concept? Better not be the youngest. Want to speak your mind? Sit down,
Yeah.
kiddo. It's a
That's
prison
when
of
you can
perpetual
see
youth
they
and
do like
everyone's
the bad girl or bad boy phase,
complicit in throwing away the key. Stop conflating respect with condescension. Celebrating youth is one thing, refusing to let people grow up is another. 7. It's only a matter of time before Classy disbands. They debuted in 2022 from the survival show My Teenage Girl, but unlike other project groups, they were slapped with a 7-year contract, and it's beyond frustrating because half their time is spent rotting in the dungeon. They had a couple of releases right after debut, but then they disappeared for over 2 years before coming back with a low-budget release Psycho and Beautiful last November. And guess what? Zero promo, like literally none. Their company ditched them ages ago, and at this point, some of them
Yeah, there wasn't much promo for that. I think we reacted to it, or maybe we just saw it in passing. I don't even remember, but that wasn't much promo.
members are already dropping hints about disbandment or leaving. If this was a typical 2.5 years project group like most survival show groups, the girls would have been free by now. But no, they're stuck for 7 years. Some of the girls are still young, so maybe they'll bounce back by joining other survival shows. but some of them will be over 24 by the time their contract ends, and that's basically a death sentence for their careers in this industry.
I mean, 24 is still young.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I doubt the company has any proper staff. The classy members are out here doing everything, shooting
But you
content,
know
editing it,
something?
coming
The thing in the Western world, in the US at least, nowadays, women over the age of 50 are now being able to continue to have a career and still have success, be the star, not just a background and forgotten. So I feel like the world is like moving into this direction, and I think it may take some time, but eventually I think that viewpoint that, oh, you age out by 24, that mindset is slowly vanishing.
up with choreo and even
That's why you
contributing to
see it's hard
songs.
for the
I've
young
seen
to have jobs now.
Yes.
them
Yeah.
grinding on social media, trying to push their comeback with trends and fan content, while their so-called company has clearly given up on them. At this point, the least they could do is release these girls and let them find better opportunities elsewhere. Keeping them locked in this mess is just cruel.
Wow, very interesting topics. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.